I'm on a mission to make things that are commonly found items at thrift stores, and every thrift store I've ever been to has a whole section dedicated to clear glass vases. I'm Anna. I like thrifting and I love making things. Here's my clear vase, and this is my inspiration, Pottery Barn's Joshua collection. I have been on the hunt for a black vase, vessel, decorative thing for a while now, so why not make one? The vase was $3.49 from the Goodwill, and I have these wooden rings from the Dollar Tree, which I'm going to attach to the sides. But first I have to cut the wooden rings in half and give the vase a good wash. At this point, I'm not sure if my sanding was effective or a complete waste of time. Probably complete waste of time, but E6000 is gonna save me. This glue is amazing. It's clear, it's paintable, it smells a little weird, but who cares about that? But it sticks anything to anything, and that is what I'm going to use to solve my little problem here. Oh, the only problem with E6000 is that it's not like instant contact. It does take a bit of time to set. So I have tape in hopes that I can tape these on to kind of do something. Oh, who knows, it could be another hot mess, but let's give it a go. Oh, and because it's so strong, a lot of times you just glue the cap to itself. So I'm gonna go find something to undo this. While the glue's setting, I'm just cleaning up the edges with a toothpick, just to give it like a cleaner finish. I'm going to leave this to set before I attempt another side. There. The glue is dry, so I'm gonna try another one. I'm gonna do the one on the opposite side now. No, it's not bad. It's like a little ear. It's oozing out, it's oozing out. Gosh, some days I'm a mess. And that some days is today. I don't know, I feel like I have to do this one again. If this was like some life-saving measure, we would all be dead by now. Okay. It's not that hard to glue things on normally. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Okay, I'm just leaving it. Step away. Thanks to the E6000, the 4 handles are stuck on. Now, I only put 4 handles on because that's what Pottery Barn did. I don't really know why there's 4 handles, but Pottery Barn did that, so I duped them too. Now, I can move on to the next step, which is spray painting. I'm going to give this just a quick coat of black spray paint. I don't need to cover it perfectly. It's just, the reason I'm spray painting is one, I want a base coat of black, but also the black makes the next step after this, not the black, the paint makes the next step after this stick better. So off to the spray tent. The spray paint has dried and it's already starting to look so much better. I mean, it's not a perfect coat. This is just like a primer coat. It's to make the next step stick better and to kind of hide the glass. It'll just be easier to work with once because it's spray painted. And my next step is applying one or several coats of a baking soda paint mix. So I have black paints here. I have one that's almost done and a brand new one, some baking soda. So I just need to mix up my baking soda paint mix. To make baking soda paint, you really just mix baking soda and paint. So I'm gonna do a few scoops of baking soda. I wanna do a thin coat first, so I'm not gonna do too much. I think that's good. And then add some craft paint from like the dollar store. And then you just add paint until you like the consistency. So it's just like a paste, and I'm ready to paint. Now I'm just gonna brush this on like regular paint. I do have 2 size paintbrushes just because I feel like in between these little spots, I'm gonna need the smaller one. And I have a wet towel, like a wet shop towel, because, well, I'm a disaster sometimes. So time to paint. This is fun. I know like this baking soda paint has been done so many times on so many other channels, but it's just really, really fun to do. I'm also going to paint the inside because, well, you'll be able to see it. I'm not going all the way down, and just, I don't know, to about here. And now I'm just gonna leave this to dry. I did pretty far down because I had leftover paint, and I've covered most of it. I know I'm gonna have to flip it over and do a little bit on the bottom here, but I'll do that after this is dried. But it does look so much better now already. No, I mean, I liked it before, but this just looks really cool. The vase is all dry and it's looking really good. It has a lot of texture, a little too much texture, so I do want to sand it down to make it just a bit smoother. Like I like the texture. I don't like all the bumps, I guess. I don't want it bumpy. I want it smooth and, what's smooth and textury? I don't know, but that's what I'm going for. And if you look right inside the vase, you can see there's a few spots that I missed, but I want to sand first and then I'll address the spots that I missed. And I know I needed to add just a little bit down here. So I'm gonna take this outside to sand because it's pretty messy. Oh, and I should tie my hair back because I'm gonna get this all in my hair. So yes, hair, outside, sand. I'm just using some fine 220 grit sandpaper. This is what I meant when I said I wanted it smooth but textured. So there's still texture to it and it looks great, but I do have to touch up some spots. Even when I was sanding, I took a little extra off and you could see the glass. So I mixed up just a tiny little amount of the baking soda paint, and I have some just black paint in there too that I'm gonna dab onto spots to make it just a little bit darker. So I'm gonna flip it over and work on the bottom. Well, work on the whole thing. While this is setting, I have a damp little towel, like I ripped off a piece of a towel, and I'm dipping it in the black, just in black paint, and I'm gonna just darken up some of the spots that look maybe a little bit too gray. Okay, so as I was saying, parts that are just a little too gray, I have a moist towel with some black paint, and I'm just gonna dab, just kind of darken it up a little. I'm just dabbing the water and paint on, and then just kind of smoothing it out with the brush. I want some of the texture to still come through. I sanded down all my patch jobs, so now I just want to go over everything with just like my little black dabbing and spreading of the paint, just because I want this to be a bit more black. There's a lot of gray from sanding, which I love that texture, and the definition it gives, but I do want it a bit more black. So just some acrylic craft paint. Well, this is getting empty. Oh no, not bad. And I'm just gonna dab and spread after I put on gloves. I think I'm done painting with the black. And I believe as it's drying, it's getting lighter, which is what I want. I still want a little bit of the lighter gray or the lighter black. Is that even a thing? I want, if that's a thing, that's what I want to show through still, just a little bit. Just because I like that character. If it doesn't, and it ends up being just like a plain black, I'm just gonna take it back outside and give it a nice little sand and just do it again. But hopefully it dries the way I want it. Then I'm going to spray the whole thing with a sealer, just like a clear, I don't know, a can of sealer. And that's because even though I love working with baking soda paint. I don't love the texture, and it does tend to kind of come off a little on your fingers when you touch it. So I'm going to seal the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop, leave it alone, and just let it dry. Let it do its thing. You're looking beautiful. Just do your thing, all right? Make me happy. All right. My vase is done and ready to be displayed. A little tip about applying a clear coat. It does darken your project just a little bit. I love the look of sanding baking soda paint. It actually looks so much like pottery now. Ralph's really impressed that the little handles look like they're the same material, that they're not just little wooden rings from the Dollar Tree. So happy about this. But let's go through the cost breakdown. I do have myself some notes here, and just to see what it cost me to dupe this vase. The vase, the actual vase, was $3.49, and then $1.50 for the rings, but there are 5 of them, and I only used 2, so that's 60 cents. The black craft paint. So I used, like, being really generous, I would say I used 1/4 of a bottle of that craft paint. So I don't know, what's that, like another 30 cents? And then 4 teaspoons of baking soda. So we'll be, I don't know, what do you say, 25 cents for that. And then I did use E6000. I used glue to attach the handle, so say another 25 cents there. And then the spray paint. When I first did the coat, the black spray paint, I used barely any, I just sprayed it on, so we'll say, I don't know, $1. And then for the clear coat, I used 2 coats, so I'll be generous there and say $2. So you add that all up, and that's $7.89. Yeah, less than $8 for this vase. Oh, and that's Canadian, and you know how bad our dollar is right now, so $8, less than $8 Canadian to dupe your own vase. I have a few more ideas coming up with things to do with commonly found items at thrift stores, so I hope you stick around to see those in the future. Thanks for watching, happy thrifting, happy duping, and I'll see you soon with another project. Bye! I need a taller chair here. Like, I feel like I'm like a little kid at a table. Yeah. So, I will be on a mission to find a better chair. Maybe like a swivel chair. Here is my vase. Okay. Here's my vase. Here's my clear vase. Here's my clear vase. And this is my inspiration. Pottery tree. Oh my goodness. This vase is $3.49. Can you see that? Yeah, maybe? Maybe it's upside down. Don't roll away. And it rolled away. No, stay.